I greet you guys to this episode of the podcast. Right behind me you can see the beauty of the Nockspitze, it called. The mountain is called Nockspitze. Yeah, I'm here in Austria, in Tyrol, nearby Innsbruck. There's the inn. And today's topic I wanted to talk about, it is the topic of generosity. In today's topic, I want to challenge you guys. Why don't you try out the principles of God to be generous in your everyday life? Or the base of everything in our Christian faith, when we talk about generosity, is to give out your tenth of what you earn every month. The tenth is 10% of your salary every year, but also every month. So what you earn every month. This is the base, and this tells us God in His Word. It's just a baseline to give Him back what already is Him. So we people are just His stewards on this earth, and all the money we receive from our jobs and all the money we have, all the money we receive is eventually from God, and everything is His. So we are just stewards of God. So that is what I believe. We are placed on this earth with a purpose for our lives, and also with the purpose to do good with the amount of money that God has given us. The 10th is for me just the first step to show God that I trust Him, that I trust His principles that are in the Bible, that I am trusting that He will protect for me, that He will provide for me, and that is just like a test. So if I really trust Him. But from this level, from this base, there is so much more you can give out. When we talk about generosity, there is so much space left where we can be generous to other people. So what I often try to, I wasn't always at this point, but in the recent months I developed this habit of giving out to people more generously. This can be you pay the lunch when you go eating lunch together with a friend of yours, or you pay maybe if you see someone in need on the street, maybe some groceries or stuff. Generosity not always has to be related with money. You can also be generous with your time. You can be generous with your abilities, what God has given you. You can use that in a way that others will benefit from. But when we talk about money, the 10th of your salary is just the beginning. And I always think, how much should I give out? How can I be generous every month? What experience I've made in this process, and I love it that I can share it to you, is that God always provides. You never have to be anxious that it will not last out until the end of the month. I'm not telling you this because I want to show you how good person I am or what I want to seem. I just want to encourage you that you don't really need this money. This money helps you to get to the things and to the life that you always dreamed of, and that you can pay off your bills, that you can provide for your family and so on. What I developed in the recent times is to trust God with all your money that He has given you. And I've made the experience, when I give out, when I am more generously in my life, I receive so much back. It is not always paid back in the same way you maybe think about it. So when you give out 100 francs, then you will receive 200 francs back the next morning or so on. But oftentimes we are getting paid back in ways we would never thought about it. So I feel very blessed. I feel like I'm a blessed person. And that is just because I think so. That is just because I live my life on the principles of Jesus Christ, how he taught it us, how he described it in his word. And that includes generosity as well. So there's a Bible verse, Acts 20:35. I have mentioned that before in another podcast episode. And there it says, it's greater to give out than to receive. So this was the topic for today. I want to encourage you to ask yourself, could I be more generous with the money God has given me? Am I still clinging on to my money? And then the second question, how could that be? How could I execute that? You can write down specific examples how you can be more generous in your everyday life. So I tell you some. You can, like I've mentioned before, you can eat lunch with someone together and then just pay for everything. But you can also just ask some person if they need something. You can be generous with your time you have. So maybe you're very good in some specific space or in a specific subject in the school, and there you could help another person in your class maybe to teach that subject. I think you got what I wanted to say in this podcast episode. I think this was it. If you have any kind of question, then leave it down below. Write me a message on Instagram or on email. Yeah, like and subscribe to this podcast and to my YouTube channel if you want to see more episodes in the future. I wish you a pleasant day. God bless you in the name of Jesus Christ, and goodbye.